Hello, good people of YouTube. Mountbatten here. Today with your weekly live reaction replay video. We have, again, our friend, Hegel Staldmann, Bob, ladies and gentlemen, who was the Hero Minotaur. What was that, like last Sunday's replay video, where he and his buddy managed to pull out a 6,800 base XP game between the two of them, with both of them earning well over 3,000 base XP, which was and is beyond insane pulling that out in a game. With when you have a 3,000 base XP game, that's normally pretty good, right? Well, it's normally fantastic, let alone to have two players on the same team pull out a 3,008 base XP game. That's downright insanity in my humble opinion. But Bob is back today in the Tier 10 Techline Dutch light cruiser, the Utrecht, which I'm maybe saying that right. Just sounds like a name that you have to put a very thick accent on when you say it. But I haven't actually gotten around to trying out the new Dutch cruisers just yet, so this should be quite interesting from at least my point of view. I do know they have the longer ranged airstrikes, and I believe they have that's the Trump thing, right, where the bombs fall much faster than they do on the main line of Dutch cruisers. So it should be an interesting match from that point of view. Oh yeah, look at that, 14 kilometers. Yeah, there they go. Drops two of them on the Petropavlovsk. That is definitely a ship you want to murder as fast as possible, especially if it's, going to be doing its thing, going to its little island and bow tanking for most of the game. Alright, Bob here. There we go. Good hits on the Petro. Gets one fire and two hits for 4,100 damage. Opens up on the enemy Utrecht from 14 kilometers as well. It does look like Bob does also have the special Dutch commander on his Utrecht. You can tell that by the little pennant flag there at the top. So we might see some real goofiness with that man on this ship. Good shots on the... Oh, what's the Petro doing? Why would you do that, bud? Good shots on the enemy Utrecht, though. Looks like most of his shells landed there. Drops one airstrike on the Petro as it looked like he was going in reverse. Again, these ships are great for countering those hard island campers like the, see there, like the Soviet large ships. Most Soviet large ships love hugging an island. American cruisers as well. So they are pretty hard counters for that. And the fact that, again, his range goes up to 14 kilometers with the airstrikes are kind of nuts. Alright, so Bob is in an artillery duel with the enemy Utrecht here, and look at the four Shermans getting in on the action as well. Oh, by the way, Bob has his own YouTube channel. Link to that will be in the description down below, where you can see some of his own gameplay with his commentary going over them. So it looks like he blind dropping this Sherman in the smoke right now. Looks like he's fishing for hits with those. Man, it's double fire right there. And has a turret knocked out too. Fishing for hits with those shells right there. Let's see if his airstrikes prove any, or find any fruit, I should say. Looks like... Nope, unfortunately. Look at all the ESW airstrikes on that 2501. My God. Utrecht's back. He's got AP going up in the tubes. Oh, beautiful, beautiful profile here. He might actually just slap his Utrecht here. And nope. Ooh, gets half of his HP though. Second salvo should finish him off. Oh, down to 500 at HP. Get him. There we go. Beautiful. The Ruprecht does not get to steal that kill away from Bob today. Alright, so they do manage to pick up two cruisers there, with the Hindenburg being taken out by the 2501, but unfortunately two friendly destroyers are down. Ah, Petro, man, dude, man. See, this is the thing about the, there goes the Ruprecht, about the Dutch cruisers. When you're in something like a Petro that typically depends upon an island to hug for, the whole playstyle of the ship, you're not going to have a good day. Alright, so it gets another fire on the Petro. Petro's backing up into his second squadron. And beautiful hit there. Another fire, and there we go. He's popped the skill for... Oh, what's this man's name? Oh, I can't remember the man's name. But anyway, he got the buff to the main battery shells, the buff to the damage of the airstrikes. And looks like the Petro's just going to back right up into... I mean, the Petro's kind of stuck. I mean, like, that's the thing with the Soviet ships, too. Once you're bow into a position, you are stuck there, because their sides are so frail, even the Petropavlovsk at this point. So you really don't want to commit in one of those Soviet large cruisers until you really do have, a really good spot to hold up on. Petro, unfortunately, does. He's just getting bullied by everybody at this point. 14 seconds till we get some more planes on the Petro. I did get a fire on the Burgon. As well as Bob is doing at this moment, the friendly team's not doing so hot. They are down a submarine, battleship, and 2 destroyers, and they do not have a single cap point at this moment in the match. They are down now by approaching 300 points, and they're down by 2 ships on top of that. So Bob's opening up with his main battery guns on the Petropavlovsk. Let's see, looks like his fire chance with his bombs is much better. I should say his fire RNG with his bombs are much better than with his main battery guns. Although he did grab one on that Burgon earlier. Alright, so gets an airstrike on the Burgon. Beautiful. Gets the kill on the Petropavlovsk for his second kill of the match. Up to 72,000 damage by the 6-minute mark. Ooh, there's a Prince Van Orange there. Let's get the Burgon. Yeah, Burgon outran most of those bombs. Getting him with the main battery guns now. And let's see, can these pin? These are German guns, so they can pin 32, right? Yes, they can pin 32. So, oh, hi, Jutland. So yeah, that Burgon is just free food for him. Yeah, it's something about the Dutch light cruisers. It's like they're German light cruisers, but we don't have German light cruisers in game just yet. All right, there we go. So he has got the Jutland almost dead to rights here. Looks like he's going to get away with most of his health intact. He's popping a heal too, but he did manage to remove half of his HP there. Pops another talent on our special Dutch commander. And the guy's name's on the tip of my tongue, but it's a live reaction replay, so I can't go look it up at the moment. Alright, he's sailing into the B-cap, pursuing the Jutland. Has his engine boost going. Gets a fire on the Burgon. Someone just popped a radar. So we should see, yep. Hello, Mr. Jutland. How are you doing today, sir? Alright, so the friendly team has managed to cap a cap now at this point. The Humphreys has gotten into the A-cap and secured it. But they are still down by, a little over 350 points at this moment. Hello, Mr. Jutland. Goodbye, Mr. Jutland. Kill number 3 for Bob. Alright, Burgon's turning to get his guns on target. Bob turns hard over. Let's see if he can think then and dodge these 15-inch shells. Ooh, Burgon might actually beach there. Ooh, beautiful dodge there by Bob. So if he doesn't beach, this should be a good strike on the Burgon here. And it maybe is? It is! 10 hits with 1 fire. Hi. Ooh, he is edging that detection range there. Whoo, man, Burgon would love to see him right about now. Alright, fires the shells. Just absolutely bullying the Burgon at this moment, opening up right before he has to turn out. There we go. Oh my god. What's the modification on his oh, I can't pull up typically you can hit H and let's see if I can hover over it and pull it up. Nope. And you can see the modification that's being applied to his. Actually, we can take a 96 damage buff on his HE shells, and he's got a 350 damage buff on his bombs. May not sound like a lot, but per shell and per bomb, that does certainly start to add up. Alright, sit rep. They are down by almost 400 points now, over 400 points now at this moment. 11 minutes left on the clock. Ships are fairly even, although the friendly team is definitely at a disadvantage at the moment. 2 subs, 1 cruiser, 2 battleships down, 1 sub, 3 cruisers, 1 battleship down on the enemy side. Bob is currently capping the B cap, but looks like he's going to sell out of it at the moment. Does get a good hit on the Mecklenburg 6K there with the airstrikes. Oh, he is spotted. It's got to be the Sherman or I guess a Jaeger could be spotting him as well at the moment. Look around, waiting to see where the shots are going to come in from before he slinks behind the island. High caliber, courtesy of the bombs from the Mecklenburg. Alright, so Bob's having an absolutely fantastic game, but the thing is, they need caps, and they need kills, and they need them quite quick, because the enemy team is about to be under 200 points away from winning this match outright. Hello, Georgia. Georgia going full tilt ahead. Right into Bob's airstrike. Let's see. Is he even going to try to maneuver? Here come the shells from the Georgia. Bob's turning out. Ooh, manages to clip him there with the... Oh, nope, he doesn't. Does not clip him with the bombs, but he does get a few shell hits in there. And he managed to dodge the 18-inch shells from the Georgia. Georgia is just absolutely livid at this moment. I don't know why he's rushing headlong into the enemy team, but, well, he is. Ooh, that friendly Ulster out there is not too healthy looking at that. But Georgia's running right into a Colombo. That's not a good recipe, especially for Georgia with its thinner armor. Colombo can and will absolutely obliterate you. Wait, is this a secondary build Georgia? I mean, a secondary build Colombo? I think we have a secondary build Colombo, boys and girls. That's a choice. There was the friggin'... Ah, hi, Mr. Jaeger. It is the Jaeger that's been stalking Bob. Okay, shots coming in from across the map from the Mecklenburg. Georgia looked like he's swapped his attention over to the Colombo at the moment. Yeah, there's the Colombo secondaries. This is an interesting creature. Considering those secondaries cannot pin literally anything at this tier of the 90mm ones. Because there are the deep water torpedoes from the... Ooh, the Kun Ming. He's over here too. Oof. So the thing is, since Bob's left the B cap... Ooh, is this a dead Georgia here with that airstrike? No, it's not. Since Bob has left the B cap, those cap points have been ticking. So now the enemy team is well over 400 points away from... I'm sorry, the friendly team is well over 400 points away from winning. Enemy team's now only 230 points away from winning. Georgia's still alive for the time being. He is very on fire, though, at the moment. Looks like he has his hill up. That's kind of keeping it at bay. Bob decides to hold him to the airstrike. There we go. Colombo does take out the Georgia. But the Georgia takes out the Colombo. What? How? All right. That's, you know... That's why you don't secondary build Colombo. Main battery build, get that unique upgrade. Could be clapping that Georgia for 20k every salvo. So the situation has not improved despite losing the Georgia, the enemy team losing the Georgia. Jaeger, however, has been caught out in the open. Let's see, can Bob get the kill on him? He's only at 9k, although the Jaeger's doing the age-old trick of driving somewhat slow to throw off the shells. Be surprised how much that does throw off incoming shells. Gets Confederate out of him, though. 235,000 damage so far for Bob. Wasn't even paying attention to that. Enemy team's at 820 points. They need to start sinking ships. Otherwise, this is going to be too close for the enemy team. All right, there we go. Got the main battery reload boost there for getting Witherer. So now he has, what's the reload time on his guns? And his airstrikes have been buffed too. 3.3 seconds on the guns. He has a 28-second reload time on the airstrikes now. There's the deep water torpedoes from the Kun Ming. Main battery guns off on the Mecklenburg along with the airstrike. Waiting for the second airstrike to come up right now. Okay, so they need to murder things. They have a battleship. They have a Mecklenburg. Really tough ship. Really good ship too. 2 destroyers and a Prince Van Orange. And they have their low health Ostgotland. Our pink Humphreys right behind Bob here. We have Bob. We have a Stalingrad. Stalingrad is definitely a ship you would want to have on your team in this situation. With its tankiness and its amazing main battery guns. But the enemy team is now 120 points away from winning. They need to sink ships yesterday. I got one hit on the Mecklenburg there. Hello, Mr. Mecklenburg. He is looking over here, though. AP out for the Mecklenburg. Bob's turning hard over. And, even with turning, he eats a fair amount of those shells and loses about half of his remaining HP, taking down to his last quarter of HP. Unleashes his guns, goes open to the Mecklenburg. Got to get all the guns on target. There you go. Kraken unleash. Had to get all that DPM on the Mecklenburg to finish him off before the Mecklenburg's guns reloaded. And that took him back from just over 900 points back down to just under that, with the points from the Mecklenburg being lost from the enemy team's point counter. Okay, we know the Sherman's here. What's Sherman going to do? Play Ring Around the Rosie again with Bob? Or is he going to play a little bit smarter? Sherman only has 2 torps. Okay, he's okay. Not the best tactical decision there. And there he goes. So that is kill number 6 for Bob. But they are still losing, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry about that cough there. The enemy team is still winning. They are still 140 points away from winning this match. 160 points, my bad, away from winning this match. There's a Prince Van Orange. Bob opening up from just the edge of his maximum range. It's like, is that the Ostgotland opening up on him too, or is that the probably the Stalingrad shells coming in from across the map? Maybe. All right, does get a fire out on the Orange. All the Orange has to do is run though. Island is going to get in his way. It looks like the Orange is almost dead. He's probably out of heals. Here comes the airstrikes. Can Bob get him? He is on fire. No, sorry, he's not on fire. If he was on fire, just put it out. Bob has 20 fires, by the way, boys and girls. That is nuts. Alright, Prince Van Oran's airstrikes easily misses. Oh, come on. 868 points. And there we go. Kill number 7 for Bob. Now it's just this Kyun Ming. So this is a tough call for the Kyun Ming. Actually, it's not that tough at all. 4 minutes left on the clock. If he can keep them out of the sea cap, he does have deep water torpedoes. So he can absolutely wreck the Stalingrad. He can absolutely wreck Bob with those torpedoes. So he's got to be very... If I was him, if I knew that Gotland was so low, that also Gotland was so low in HP, I would probably... there we go, there we go. Bob is saved by the Torps running out of juice. That would have been it right there, ladies and gentlemen. That would have been an easy win for the red team if he managed to get that kill. I know that Kyuming is punching his desk right now. 3 minutes, though. Yeah, this is on the edge of being comfortable for the Kyuming. If he could have kept him out of sea, like if he can sink this Östergötland in the sea cap, that'll probably be it for them, unless they manage to kill the Kyuming. But we don't know what HP the Kyuming is at. That's the big question. He could be lower than the Östergötland. Now, we do know the torpedoes came from the direction that Bob is selling it right now. That's why he's selling it in that direction, because he's put 2 and 2 together and realized the Kyuming is probably going for the A cap. Now, of course, yep, he's in the A cap, so he's touched it. Ooh, this is close, ladies and gentlemen. We are under 2 minutes away at a 140-point difference between the two teams. Ooh. Now, keep in mind, Kyuming deep-water torpedoes can absolutely obliterate the Stalingrad. So, let's see how good of a driver this Stalingrad is. See if he can predict what's going to happen here. Alright, Stalingrad's dropping his ASW, just trying to see where the Kyuming AA is coming from, but the Kyuming has turned off his AA. Now, the Stalingrad is going to get into the cap before the Kyuming caps it, but they're still only earning 2 caps worth of points at this moment, and we're 2 minutes and 25 seconds away from this ending. Or I believe we're actually shorter than that, given the points gain at the moment. So this is where it helps to have the game timer mod in for sure. But here come the deep water torpedoes. It's my Discord, not yours. Stalingrad does manage to thread them. Nicely done, Stalin. But of course, Stalingrad's a big girl. So if Kyuming can be a little cutesy with the angles and such, might be able to get a couple of shots in on him. A couple of torpedo hits in on him. That's still my Discord and not yours. Alright. So now, there's the smoke. 1 minute 44 left on the clock. They're still losing this. They need 40 more points. They need to sink this Kyuming. Alright, so Bob is just absolutely blind firing. There he is! He has drifted out of his smoke screen! Why would you do that? He was a British light cruiser for a second. That's... Wow. He was playing so well. I don't think... Stalingrad didn't pop his radar there at the end. I did not see him pop his radar. I think he was out of radar. Oh my god. Look, another 3,300 base XP game from Bob here. Oh. God, that Kyuming, if he didn't break his desk from the torpedoes running out right before they hit Bob, he is absolutely broken his monitor now that he drifted out of his smoke screen. And then decided to open up on the Stalingrad after, which is absolutely wild. Wow, that was a good game. Talk about a come-from-behind match there. 269,000 damage done, 20 fires, 88 bomb hits, 441 main battery gun hits with Utrecht from Hagostelman Bob. Excellent game, man. Thank you so much for sending it into the channel. But he got Confederate, Dreadnoughts, Kraken, Witherer, and High Caliber. 7 kills. Would have been 8, almost 8, 7.5. We'll round up to 7.5 for him. But if you have a replay like this, dear viewers, that you would like to send into the channel, that you would like to maybe see featured here on the channel, please send it into the email linked down below. Bob, if you got any more, I will gladly take them. You seem to have some insane games, my guy. So guys, hope you guys enjoyed. Have a wonderful Thursday, wonderful rest of your week. Hope to catch you guys in the next one.